What's up, Raptors fans? Welcome to the Warridge Report. For today's video, I will discuss how NBA teams have discovered the Raptors' secret. So before I get into the details of today's video, I need you to do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps reach more Raptors fans across YouTube. And if you could hit that subscribe button as well, it really helps this channel grow. You get a lot of Raptors content on here, including in-depth analysis. With that being said, let's get right into it. So the Raptors, as we know, have been slowly getting discovered by the NBA teams across the league. Now we know the NBA is a copycat league where once a team succeeds, many teams try to replicate or copy the same thing the other team has done. So it became slowly a trend in the NBA. We saw the Raptors use a technique which wasn't really a thing in the NBA at that time. We saw Nick Nurse use this defensive scheme against Stephen Curry where he played box and one, which was actually highly criticized by both players on the Warriors and the Raptors. And Stephen Curry even went out to say that was janky defense, and some players even said they hadn't seen that kind of defense since high school, which was used to kind of shut the star player down from the opposing team. Now this was a new thing at that time, but we saw a lot of NBA teams the following season do the same exact thing, including the Raptors, and it paid off as they did a great job of shutting the other team's star player down. So it slowly became a trend from there where teams slowly tried to figure out the Raptors system and how great it was. So from there, it just became a thing, and they started going deeper into not only defensive schemes, but to our assistant head coaches. So Nick Nurse's good friend, assistant coach Nate Bjorken, we know the Pacers called this offseason to hire him as a head coach. So as soon as Nate was gone, Nick Nurse decided to call his other friend Chris Finch as an assistant head coach, and as soon as he came, he left just as quickly because the Minnesota Timberwolves decided to hire him as a head coach. So it became, NBA teams discovered the Raptors had a great system, so they slowly began to kind of tear our assistant coaches. It became a thing from our plays to our assistant coaches, and it shot over to our G League player, as well. So Alize Johnson, we know, played with the Raptors system, but the Raptors, for whatever reason, were not willing to give him a chance. We saw him in training camp. Yuta Watanabe took that spot, but then even after that, we had injuries, we had open roster spots. The Raptors elected to give a 10-day contract to Henry Ellenson, but for whatever reason they didn't give it to him. But the Brooklyn Nets picked him up, and he's been doing a great job ever since. So it's not just him, it's other players as well. Gary Payton Jr. has signed a 10-day contract with the Golden State Warriors as well. So it became a trend, as we've seen with the Spurs a decade ago, where we saw they had a great developmental system. So a lot of teams started to steal the assistant coaches. They tried to acquire players, and they tried to figure out how the Spurs were so great at doing that. And I feel like the Raptors are having the same thing done here as well. Now we know Oshae Brissett was released by the Raptors. I still felt some sort of way because I felt like he could have been a really nice player for the Raptors, but they just didn't have the room or the minutes for Oshae Brissett, so they decided to release him, and he's been with the Indiana Pacers since, and he's done a tremendous job as well. So I feel like the Raptors have slowly been discovered by NBA teams, and they know the Raptors have a great system of developing players, and they're starting to pick apart our G League player. It started with a little thing like deciding to use box and one by several teams. The following season we won the championship, and then they went on to our assistant coaches, and now they're going into our G League players as well. So before I end this video, I do want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this is just a coincidence that the Raptors have had a few players and their assistant head coaches taken by other teams, or have NBA teams discovered the Raptors' amazing system and are deciding to pull it apart to kind of get a piece for themselves? Let me know in that comment section below. And if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.